Yeah, I think it's happening. Is it happening? Yes, it's happening. I think it's happening. Oh my gosh, there looks like there's gonna be buffering. Hooray! Well, so be it. So, you're watching Ballerina Badass. Hopefully, it's not buffering too badly. My name is Georgia Reed, and I am bringing back the point shoe parties. Why am I bringing back the point shoe parties? Because it's a great way to hang out, feel like I'm getting something done towards dancing, which feels sometimes a bit like a fraud for me, but it's not about me. It's about you guys. So let me repeat myself. It's about getting together, working on shoes or looking at shoes or just talking about it, but then also talking about other stuff going on in life. It's a chance to connect with you guys and hear what's going on for you out there. And man, sometimes I would just love to have a big free-for-all Zoom call meeting, but the Zoom calls can get utter madness. So this way I can just try and see your chats in the chat thing. And if you don't feel like chatting or you watch this video later, you can see what I'm doing with the point shoes at various times and maybe get something out of it. That I hope. Anyways, I did have several requests from my followers to bring the point shoe parties back, and with COVID-19 going on, man, did I really pulled back on everything, you guys. I mean, I had turned off a lot of my, well, all of my social media. I got rid of all of it for several months, and I was definitely dealing with my own issues around depression and just all of it. And then I realized, wait a minute, what can I do to contribute in a positive way? And it'll also help me get out of my rut, hopefully. So here I am. Point shoe party time. All right. Oh, James says, hey, could you quickly showcase massages for the soles? I've had some issues. Maybe later, James. Forgive me, don't think I'm a total jerk, but I do have a lot of foot fetish people that try to come on my channel and want like foot fetishy stuff, and I'm just not about that anymore. Ha ha ha. No, I'm gonna stay with the shoes, but I can do a separate video for working on finding ways to release certain muscles if you're having tension in your feet and the proper way to do that. So I will keep that in mind. Anyways, all of my point shoes are in this bin. All the point shoes left over, right? And I haven't really been dancing on pointe since 2017. Been 3 years, I think. I'll put them on once in a while, but full-time, hardcore, I stopped cold turkey. I still feel guilty about that, and also I feel great about that. And I have some really beautiful shoes in here that were barely used at all, and I'd still like to play with them. And if anything, just because for me, I think that point shoes can be a very good thing to keep you in shape, to keeps your butt firm. Yeah, so, and I love it. But these are Suffolks. They look beautiful on my feet, but I never quite got the hang of them. I feel like I'm dancing in a weird... Do you ever feel like when you're on certain point shoes, like you're up on stilts somehow or a high wire and you have like no control over what's going on, which is weird, but yeah, so, but I'm still going to keep trying to work with them. They're a harder shoe in some ways, but in other ways, like their shank gets really soft on me. So it's like hard box, soft shank. I do better as long as I have a hard shank. The box can go soft, but as long as the shank stays hard, I'm okay. Oh, James says he's sorry. That's okay, James. Don't worry. Nothing but love for you. I'm just going to stay focused on the point shoes today, and hopefully that stays put. Okay. We own also, I love this unitard, and also, again, yeah, feeling very self-conscious. I was looking back at old videos when I was really full-time dancing, and I thought at the time that I was overweight, and I'm a good 15, 20 pounds heavier now, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm finally embracing my body. I actually have a chest for the first time ever, and I really like it. So I'm learning how to love myself. It's just, there are moments where I'm like, I feel like, oh my God, I don't know. It's a mind, it messes with your mind, right? Because you know, intellectually, I know I am skinny, but compared to what I used to be, I'm not. So that makes me want to feel fat. It's a struggle. Ooh, these are Grishkos with that funky, foamy um, thing on the inside, that shank. It feels really nice. I didn't really get to use these enough. I remember they're okay. They're 5.5 triple X LM. Got a nice hard box, but also good. Oh, Morgan Taylor, yes! Oh, she has comments, yes. You feel like that? Yes. Thank you. Okay, so definitely Morgan, right? That weird feeling on the Pointe shoes. You're not alone. And thanks for the compliment on the unitard. But these, I remember liking these. I'm going to toss it on. By the way, at the very end, when I was pretty much quitting, right? At the very end of, well, into 2017, I guess, yeah. At the time, I had gotten to where I was just taping my toes and basically putting nothing in my shoes. And I kind of liked it, but it wasn't easy. I mean, good Lord. And my Pointe shoe fitter said, girlfriend, get these things and put them on, and it's okay. You're going to feel like you're wearing slippers. And I do. I feel like I'm wearing bedroom slippers, and it is nice. And I remember seeing the teenagers putting these in their shoes and dancing all day, and I always felt like I was such a snob, you guys. I was like, they're cheating. They can't really feel the floor, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Those kids could turn all day and did not have problems. So I'm going to throw this on, no toe tape, and let's just see what's going on. It's like putting on old shoes in your closet. Like, oh, I'm going to get out my spring clothes. That makes sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Now, I did go back to not crossing my elastics. I do cross them sometimes because if it pulls the shoe up in places, but then I noticed that sometimes when I cross the elastic, it pulled the shoe in a weird direction. That may sound crazy to you guys. Again, there's always that balance of how much of it is what I need, how much of it is because my feet are really flexible, and how much of it is because they're really weak, you know, or other parts of my body are weak and need to be strengthened, etc. And these are the elastic ribbons. I go back and forth on these. They're okay only if you just have to be careful not to tie them too tight, because oh my god, talk about cutting off the circulation. The satin ones, yeah, I feel like the satin ones last a lot longer. You know, you can really reuse them a lot more, but sometimes they cause problems. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm on a bit of a delay, so I can't even fully see what I'm doing. I don't like the break. There's too much, look at that. There's too much junk back there. I don't like that. Extra in the shoe, and I don't like where it's broken. It hasn't really done a good break for me. Let me see how it feels, though. See, yeah, that's kind of, what? I am so super out of shape, you guys, and that's okay. Oh, I don't know. It feels okay. I feel like I'm sinking in the shoe, though. It feels a little big. I feel like I'd rather have a 5 than a 5.5. And I almost want to re-sew this shoe, move the elastic down a touch to here, and then I think I want to like kind of force the break at the spot that I want it. The problem is once I force the break, it might make the shoe die a lot faster. I don't know. Let me see. See, I think I already did mess with the break on this one. Yeah, I think the shoe's just not quite the right fit for this one. Well, that's how I feel about that shoe. But let's see. Let's put on, this is an oldie. And you'll see I tried to keep track of which shoe goes with which by, what Morgan says, I'm going to try Grishkos for my next pair. Cool. Morgan, tell me what you think about the Grishko, because definitely that's been my go-to shoe. And I love Freaks. They look beautiful, but it's like, that's when you are with a company and they can give you 20 pairs at a time and you go through them like butter and it's fine. But the Grishko, I've always really liked. I'm curious to see what you think. So, right, old school, nails in the shoe, and the nail is still there, both nails. Sometimes I take the nails out, but I did not this time. I didn't take any of the shank out, you can see here. What's great is when you let your shoes sit for a while, if you haven't totally thrashed them, they will reharden, so you can kind of go back to your older shoes and get another use out of them, which is what I'm going to do, especially since I'm not dancing full time or whatever. And these have the satin ribbons on them. This is the left one. I need to organize and find their matching pairs. That's what I'm trying to do today eventually. See, yeah. So let me try this one. This is oh, this isn't Grishko. I lied. This is Russian Pointe. Wah, wah. The other shoe I would wear. Oh, wow, Georgia. What kind of a bad point shoe person are you? Well, this is Russian Pointe. I don't know what size it is because it doesn't say. Well, too bad. I'm going to put it on anyway. I'm going to slip her on for a second with the cheaty thingy, which I'm curious to see if that's even going to fit in here. Good Lord. Oh, yeah. I can already tell I'm going to like this a little better. I don't know why, but I am. Okay, and I'm putting this on. Like, can you guys see this? I'm putting it on. The feeling of putting on point shoes, considering I've been doing this since I was 10, so since I was 9. 31 years, y'all. I mean, I did take time off, but still. It's like, just feels so right. It's so wrong, it's so right. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's right, I've got a bar here. Let's use that, shall we? Hopefully you can see what's going on. This is my DIY bar, which I need to actually do an update video on because I love this bar, but I did notice that I needed to add an extra piece here to strengthen it because it's just PVC pipe. It's not metal, and it was just not holding up as well. So once I put that little like cross piece in there, it's been a lot stronger. So I need to do an update video. But oh my gosh, just putting this on already. Yep, the shoe is old and definitely dying, so I'm sinking a little bit in it. And that's also just because all of my great, awesome turnout muscles to support myself being on point. You know, I mean, all of this up here is kaput right now. So right now, the only thing really holding me up is the shoe. Let's face it. Yep. See if you see I'm pushing down on the bar, you guys? Like the bar's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. But this shoe feels, I just feel more confident. I will say that in this shoe. So, yep. Can I do a little hop? Yep, hop. So hopping, I feel it could do that. Turns. I don't know if it could hold up to a bunch of fouettes, but as you all know, or if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, I suck at fouettes. And even as I was getting better at them, oh my God, I did not conquer them, and that was embarrassing. But it is what it is. Okay, so, yep, the Russian Pointe, funny enough, love it. All right, let's see. So we'll put you here, yes. I'll put these on later. I don't want to put them on right now, the Suffolks, I'm sorry. The Suffolks look pretty, I just, Okay, let's see if we can find some matches. This is a really beaten up Grishko. See, this is what happens with my shoes when I wear them out, is that I roll. They got better. As I strengthened, I got better about it. I don't know if you can tell the difference on this Russian Pointe. I do darn them. The darning really helps, you guys. If you have a tendency, like with me with my weak ankles, and the fact that I have bunions, because as you can see, when my feet go together, look at that V shape. It's so nasty and gnarly, right? I think. And I am definitely going to have to get surgery. That's going to be expensive, and that ain't happening anytime soon. It doesn't really hurt at all. So even when I was dancing full time, it didn't stop me as far as pain, but it just yeah. So all of that V and pushing down. So anyways, my shoe will start to kind of go like that. But the box is still hard. I'm going to give these one more shot. Now, the only problem with this one I can see, it looks like, yep, this is a shoe where I decided to cut the shank, and unfortunately, it ended up, because I cut it, but I didn't take out the back part, this cut here will pinch my skin. Really not a smart move on my part. So I was putting toe tape over it to kind of keep that section from pinching, and then the toe tape bunches up and makes this wad under my foot. Really uncomfortable, not good. So I don't recommend doing a full cut, but I'm sure there are other awesome, incredible prima ballerinas out there with feet of steel who say absolutely cut it and do what you want, and they're awesome. So who am I? But it says this is L star. Okay. I'll put that in Grishko land. Grishko land, Suffolk, Russian Point, Tothine. What else we got? Oh, these. Yep. This is the pair I wore when I did that piece for Robert Kelly at the Diane Laridson Center. I love that piece. I was so not happy with how that piece turned out. But that's another video for another time. And that's some tea that I don't want to spill right now. Because I love Diane. She's a great teacher. And, you know, whatever. So, it's a whole other thing. But, yeah, I used face foundation to, you know, cake the shoe instead of calamine lotion like we used back in the day. Okay, that there, which, oh my gosh, look at all these shoes. Yep, there's his match, or her match. What else? R star. Okay. Oh, that's a Russian point. All right. Oh, wait, R star and L star. We have a match! Yay! All right, I'll do it the proper way. When I was a little girl, whatever. At my dance studio growing up, you had to come in. Of course, there was no talking ever. I don't think dancers today sometimes understand. I see them talking in the corner. We might have pulled off barely a whisper, barely, if Miss A was not looking or she was like changing the record, maybe. But if she heard you talking, she kicked you out of the class. I kid you not. I got kicked out once. It only took once, and I never did it again, to my knowledge. But you had to come in, and of course you had your uniform on, and you could only have small earrings, nothing like this. And the hair had to be back, no bangs, no wispies, no fingernail polish, and you just came in like ready to go, and you walked straight to your place, and you had your point shoes ready to go in a little like sort of packet, and I'll show you how I made it. And you put that down in the center of whatever mirror you were standing at. And we had assigned places, as I recall. And I forget if you ever got to change places. I forget how that worked. But you take your little shoe and you fold, right? Fold it over. And then you get the ribbons like this. Sometimes you try and figure out how tight could you fold it to make it look as perfect as possible. Kind of like the army, right? It's kind of scary sometimes how the ballet is like the army because it's all about doing as you're told, do not ask questions, follow the authority figures, you have to be perfect, uniforms, rules. And I'm like, oh God, that ribbon is terrible. Look at these old ribbons. Oh, I need to like burn them and trim them, and I did not. So, oh well. I'm going to try and see if I can. I do? Well, then I'll tuck in the rest. So then you tuck the rest of the ribbon in. You can either tuck it in the back or tuck it in the front. I'm going to try and tuck it in the back. That does not look good. And say would so be not happy. And boy, ribbons coming out during a performance, forget about it. That was death. Death. When I say death, it's so funny. She's this nice Greek lady who, God, when I started training with her, I realize now I think she was in her 60s when I started, or late 50s. But to us, like, you know, she already had white hair, and we just thought she was this little old lady kind of thing, but she was tough as nails. She never yelled. She was very quiet. She'd give you that death look, and it would crush you. She really knew. I don't know if she realized what she was doing, but oh, sometimes she'd make a comment, and you'd be crushed. Okay, so I'm doing the second shoe. And then this is the thing. And then you take shoe number 1 and you shove it into shoe number. Now, if you're really good, you can shove both heels into both toes and it really fits amazing, but usually we just do one. So you just shove, like that. And there's your little toe shoe package. Ta-da! So, 1. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, what else have we got? SPF Sugar Plum Fairy. I must have worn these for Sugar Plum Fairy. Yeah, because you can see how torn up the bottom is. The Sugar Plum Fairies I did outside of Diane's studio. They were on concrete floors. Oh my gosh, in theaters, right? But theaters that are used to like doing plays and things like that. Oh Lord. Yeah, These things took a beating. Okay, so that's that. But look at that. You hear that? Still hard. It's still good. Oh, look, I signed these. I guess I was going to sign these and possibly give them to someone. This has got green all over it because this was for a commercial I did. I forget which one, but it was on a green screen, and they also painted the floor green so that it could all be green, and then they could put some background behind me. So as I danced, all the green they painted on the floor got on the shoe. That shoe is an X shoe. Anyone gets that reference, let me know. Major points. Oh, these. These are Grishkos that I can tell by holding them immediately. This is the 5 quadruple X hard. Hard shank, guys. But I took them. Chances are, this could very well be one of the shoes I wore for my Giselle performance. And the reason I know that is because for Act 2 in particular, my Miss A hates loud shoes. Hates them so much. If you have loud shoes on her stage, she will let you know. So I banged the hell out of these. I mean, I just hammered them. And you hammer them and it makes them quiet. You hammer it right there, right? Makes them nice and quiet. But unfortunately, it also destroys the strength of the shoe. And so I remember I hammered them so well. They were quiet all right, but I had a very hard time on stage because I did not have the support. And I mean, let's face it, I had been off for 12 years and I'm dancing Giselle. Who the hell did I think I was? And I did not have enough strength. I mean, so it was challenging. So that's funny. That might be a Giselle shoe. I could take this and use this. This would be good now for just like a ballet class to work through the shoe, right? You can roll through. It strengthens your feet, but you're not, you're at the bar. You're not doing the hard work that you would be doing in center. So I will save it. I will save it and use it. This is a Freed. Oh, you beautiful shoe. This is from 2018. These are still pretty much brand spanking new. Look at that. This is a Bell size 4X. Because with the Freed makers, as you know, they put their maker sign on it. They all have their maker sign. I think back when I was in Cincinnati in the 90s, I was doing late 90s, early 2000s, whatever. It was the square. I'll have to see if I can find a pair. That'd be crazy. But these are still brand spanking new. They look a little small for me. If I want to recall someone had given me these to like try them out and enjoy because they weren't using them, and they're a touch small, but I'm sure they look pretty freaking awesome. Let's put one on. Okay. Let's see. Well, let's try and put a footy thing in. I don't know if it's gonna go. Quite frankly, my loves. Let's see. Gonna try and shove it on my foot. It's going on. Oh my gosh. See, this is a 4 Freed. Remember earlier I was in a 5.5 Grishko. That was a little big, but usually most of these are 5s. Very interesting. It's just like if you're going to, I always loved it. I'd go to like Old Navy and they'd say, oh, you're a size 6. Then I'd go to the Gap and the Gap would say, oh, you're a size 4. And then I'd go to Banana Republic and they'd say, oh, you're a size 0. All 3 companies owned by the same parent company, and yet the fancier the store, the smaller the size I was. Interesting. I have thoughts about that. Okay, here we go. Ooh, do we have the other shoe? I would prefer to have both shoes. Hello? Are you in here? They could be here all night, people. Let's see. What are you? Oh God, yeah, we've got some oldies in here, folks. And my toe kit. I'm gonna go for that another time, not tonight. Rosin, which ended up being my enemy when I did that one competition. That was a boo-boo. Is this it? Maybe this is it. Yep, because I marked it. What? Yep, left 9, 11, 18. But the question is, where's the other nice footy thing? Because it would be nice to have the other footy thing. You know what? For now, I'm going to use this little half-piece footy thing. It's not great, but it's something, because I'm going to keep going. Let's see. What have we got? What have we got right here? I'm going to shove. Gentle shoves. I did not sew the bottom of these, so of course that would be something good to do to make them last longer. And 3 reinforce the platform. Okay. They have the satin ribbons. There we go. Non-matching though. Definitely reused from other shoes. That's so funny. Okay. Oh my god, you guys. Oh my gosh. Goodness. Okay. Oh boy. Yep, it's already rubbing on the ankle, so that's not fun. Ow. Have to work on that. All my calluses are gone. Oh. Oh, freaks. They're breaking a little low. I can already feel the right foot. It's like kind of dying under my foot. If I roll through, yeah. Gosh, it's so easy to lose everything you work for. Although, let's be honest. I mean, it has been a couple of years, so I need to be nicer to myself. But I don't know if you guys can see that I'm sinking in these shoes, but it feels like I'm sinking in them. I'll say that. It'd be fun for, like, you're just like, oh, cool, contemporary looking badass. But as far as support goes, yeah. I don't know. They're a little bit tight on my bunions, but not too bad. It's the heel more than anything, I think, because the way I sewed this. You have to be careful, right? If you don't sew it just right, it can rub on your ankle and stuff, and that's annoying. Let's see. I'm going to try roll through, guys. I'm not warmed up, so I'm being really careful. Not in a full turnout first. And, yep. I need to kind of pull back in the shoe. If I just let it sink, it's like, gotta pull up, lift up. Well, they're pretty. I just don't know. Yeah, my arch is really, I do not feel like my arch is, it feels like it's bursting out. And again, that could be a product of me being way the heck out of shape. Okay, so, all right, well, certainly not going to throw them out. I hardly throw any of my babies out. But that, again, is because I do not have infinite shoes coming back into my possession from fabulous companies and all that. So I am holding on to these. Sure are pretty. They're just so pretty. The shoes I really want to try next, because everyone has talked about them forever, are Gainer Mindens. Oh my gosh. I want to know. I remember when they first came out, and some rep came to our studio in St. Louis and like, try these. And I was like, those are awful. That was the very beginning. They've apparently come a long way, and a lot of the great ballerinas use them and wear them and think they're awesome. So I want to try them. I want to see what the hubbub is about, right? Hubbub. But they're like $120. I'm going to have to save up for that. What are these? Sanchas. Oh my God, I tried these. I actually really liked them. The only problem was because the box was so long. If you can see, I actually had to cut holes in the satin for my bunions because it was just too long. But I remember liking them a lot anyway. Huh. Interesting. Okay. What else have we got? L2. Is there an L1 here, people? No? Nope. Okay. So we don't know who you belong to. What else we got? R2. Ha ha ha. Yay. L2, R2. I'm just going to shove them together because shove, shove. Shovey, shove, shove. You guys, I'm hoping for anyone who watches this later, you'll let me know how you've been doing during COVID-19. I was thinking about it, and, I'm doing other things in my life now. I work a full-time day job. I still get to work as an actor from time to time, and I've started doing other things like stand-up comedy. But I love to dance, and I got offered an opportunity recently to do some choreography, so I'm working on that, and that's been really fulfilling. However, it's not my full-time gig anymore, and I can't imagine if I were 15, 18, 19, whatever, working towards a career as a professional ballet dancer, which I was like from the age of 9, I was like, this is it, I'm going to do this. I decided, I gave up everything else. And I have varying opinions about that depending on the day. But if COVID-19 had hit, and let's say like I had just joined a company, oh, nope, you're out. And I'm the kind of body type where, especially, I mean, still now, but my weight can swing pretty easily. So I remember one summer I did a 2-week intensive in St. Louis. I think I was 20 years old. And in that 2 weeks of every day doing body alignment, jazz, ballet, and pointe, like every day, I got in the best shape of my life. I looked amazing. My extension suddenly went way higher than it normally did. Everything was coming together for me. And right after that, I went and did some religious study group back when I used to be religious. And I went out there, I think, for a week, or was it 2 weeks? I forget, but it was a short amount of time. And in that time, I lost everything, all the progress I had made. I put weight back on. It was terrible, you know? And that's just a couple of weeks. So my heart just goes out to all of you guys out there. How are you doing? Are you hanging in? What are you scared about? What are you dealing with? How are the companies treating you? Are they going to offer you contracts, or have they made any promises, or are they just like keeping their mouth shut? And there's hair products in this set of Pointe shoes. That's weird. Okay. Oh, free bobby pins. I love bobby pins. So I really want to hear about that. I mean, please comment below in the box and tell me, because I wish there was something I could do to help in a way that would be lasting, you know, or that could really make a difference. And I get it. It's like, okay, well, you know, sponsor a dancer. Can't do that yet. I am on the Dave Ramsey method right now, and I am getting the heck out of debt. So these, changing the subject, are Russian points that have also been coated, and they are really hard and awesome, and I think they're going to be really great. I'm going to definitely use those. Woohoo! Interesting. Looks like we're voting Russian Pointe a bit here. Oh, that's the other green pair. So I've got some of these signed. I'll need to like send them out. I don't know who's going to really want a signed pair of Pointe shoes from me anymore, honestly, at this point. But at this point, these are, guys, these are Pointe shoes from 2001. March 29th, 2001. You guys, I moved to New York City. Well, I went to New York City first in like May or June of 2001 to visit. Is that right? Is that right? No, I first went to New York City in 2000. That's right. And then I came back because I couldn't figure out how to stay there yet. And I did a season with Kansas City Ballet as a seasonal dancer. And then I moved to New York City. So this must have been while I was with Kansas City Ballet, because it's March of 2001. And then that's right. And then in May of 2001, I moved to New York. And then, of course, 9/11 happened in September when I was a company dancer with Ballet Hispanico. That was a tough time. But these are blocks, and they are 5, and then the square, or box, whichever you want to call it, XX. So that was the maker. So these were the shoes back then. I'm curious. I gotta try these. Yeah, really old. Probably very gross. Do I put stuff in them or not? I'm not gonna put stuff in them. Let's just put them on. Let's just put them on and find out what happens. Did I cut the shag on these? Because if I did, it's not gonna feel good. Just saying. Okay, let's try them out. Okay. Oh my gosh. Ha! There they are. Wow. And they still feel good, you guys. Holy cow. I have nothing in the shoes, and they fit well. They fit so well. They've got an elasticized drawstring. I know, again, remember, these are super dead, but considering the fact that they're super dead, when it is the right fit, oh, you guys, dang. I wonder if the box maker if he even or she even still makes shoes. I wonder if they're still out there somewhere. And again, to be able to access one of these makers when you're non-professional, it's not like I've kept friends in the industry that I could go and find this person and say, make some more for me. And of course, how much would they cost when you're not in a company? Good Lord, I can't even imagine. Dang, man. I'm going to put some things on and try it one more time. Hope you all are enjoying this as much as I am. My goodness. Let's find out. Okay, let's get the bar. Just walking in them. Oh, yes. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. They're dead for sure, but oh, do they feel just so wonderful. Oh, hello, Freeds. Hello, my secret loves. Look at that. No elastic, or, you know, I mean, and the usual, or no ribbons. And they just stay put. So I could just wear these for ballet class, like that, right? Da-da-da. Oh. Oh, you guys. Okay, I just want to wear these for the rest of my life. If anyone knows the box maker at Freed, oh, jeez. That would be lovely. That would be lovely just to have 30, 40 more pairs of those forever and ever. Talk about Christmas. Well, that, you guys, is what happens when you get a pair that really fits well. I mean, again, it hits in the right spot where my foot breaks, and but the actual heft of the box, the vamp, I'm sorry, I've forgotten terms, that's how long it's been, but anyways, like the vamp feels good, the box feels good, the arch feels good, the shank feels good, everything about these shoes feel really good. I mean, yeah, the box is getting mush. Maybe I could shellac these and bake them in the oven a couple of times and just keep them going, because, oh, I'm not taking them off. I'm not taking them off, so there. All right, what are these? Oh, these are spades. That's a London, Freed of London, spades. Huh. But these I don't think are from back then. Okay. Ballet slippers, ballet slippers. What else we got? Are these all? So these are all the signed Pointe shoes that we can let go of. This is another Suffolk. The Suffolk Solo. I tried that. Oh, these things. I banged the heck out of them, and they did not soften up at all. But so the box stayed totally hard, and the shank went mush, and I just had a real hard time with them. I know other dancers, though, who swear by the Suffolk, so I don't mean to just throw shade on Suffolk. I'm sorry. It's just for me it was the issue. What the heck are these? Oh, yeah, again, I think these are shoes other dancers had used. That's kind of gross, right? But I was trying all different kinds of shoes back in 2016 just to see if I could get another use out of them. Look at these long ribbons. Yeah, these are not mine. Well, I will harvest these ribbons and use them for other shoes. I will definitely need to wash them. Let's wash out the juju. I think I know whose these are. What else we got? Oh, more Grishkos. Again, that 5 quadruple X hard. And I cut the shank on them really low. What the heck was I thinking at the time? I do not know. Okay, I don't know what's up with those. Don't know if I can keep using them or not, quite frankly. We will see. What else? Oh, excuse me. Love these. Oh, yep, more Russian points, but these are, I love these at the bar. They just have the elastic. They don't have any ribbons, and I just throw them on to warm up at the bar and kind of get my feet going. It's interesting. I'm leaning towards these Russian points more. Unless, of course, you're the Freed, I'm going to keep saying it all night, size 5, square box, double X. Oh, square box maker, wherefore art thou? Are you still out there? I remember these. This is when I tried a different way of sewing elastic, you guys, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. But it's so time intensive that I didn't keep it going. But I took like stretchy fabric and I sewed a whole big piece across the foot. That way it kind of, the whole shoe melds with my foot really nicely. It looked actually really pretty on. But yeah, too much sewing, too much work, and I gave up on it. These are still pretty hard, so they're usable. Usable. Pull it back up. Wow. Guys, I'm interested to see if I can pull off this 30 videos in 30 days thing. I think I can, but then I go, wait a minute. Am I crazy? No, probably not. Then my question is, will I ever stop again? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe this is just my life now. It's just making these videos forever and ever and ever. Okay, back you go. What else? Suck it in. Okay. Oh, more Freeds. Who is this, though? That's the bell maker again. Okay, so they're the ones that look really pretty, but aren't as easy to dance in. All right, you go back there. That's the other. Oh, I was such a... I'm sorry. I think I behaved very idiotically. I got these wonderful canvas slippers, but I got them way too small. And the problem is when I put them on in the fitting room, and my fitter warned me. She was like, look, they look amazing, but they are really small on you. You know that, right? And I'm like, well, they look amazing. Well, yeah, they look amazing. But then when I actually tried to dance in them, because they're canvas, there's no give. So when I would land from a jump, my foot needs to spread when I land from a jump, and it had nowhere to go. It had nowhere to spread. So it hurt like heck. So be careful with the canvas shoes. I need to get a bigger pair. Yes, these are lovely for photos, but not smart on my part at all. Oh, yes, the black shoes. What did I use these for? Do I even remember now? Was it for some kind of, I don't know, some kind of dance or show or video, something. But it says dead, but they're not anymore. They're actually hard again. Ha ha ha. All right. Oh, these. I wore these at Labyrinth of Jareth. That was really cool. I got to do a couple of, 2 years I got to do solos, and the second year I got to actually open the show with the solo, which was crazy because they didn't warn me until like the night of. They were like, hey, Georgia, you're up. And I went, oh, okay. And I come up and I realized the show was opening the first night, and I was apparently going to be the opening dancer. And I wished I had rehearsed more or whatever, but it was what it was. It was really cool. It was really cool. And to get that audience, they were all so excited to be there, right? And I was dancing to this really cool music. It was very like Game of Thrones feeling. And I was barefoot for that one. But the year before that, I did a Pointe solo. That was pretty cool. Yep, I liked that. Okay. Oh, and there's the other one. Hooray! I just drew on them with a felt tip pen. It was fun. Ooh! Bonus hair tie. Very exciting. All right, let's see what we got. I will definitely do more sewing in the future. I'm doing these every Tuesday, just so you know, you guys, for an hour each Tuesday. So it pushes me to work on Pointe stuff, like sewing and all of that. And just a chance to hopefully like connect with you guys and talk. All right, this says dead, but is it really? I don't know. It's got really good elastic on it. The ribbons are so-so, but I could definitely harvest them if I had to. Harvest. Don't throw me out. Don't worry. I'm going to keep you for now. I just don't know where your partner is. Who is this? It's another. See, they're both Grishko 5 Quadruple X Hard, but they are not partners. They are definitely different shoes. There are some dancers who I know can switch shoes back and forth because their feet are so identical, but I cannot. My left foot is definitely a little bigger than my right foot, and the bunions on my left foot are much more pronounced than they are on my right foot. And my left foot, I think, is pointier. My right foot deals more with a little bit of that tendonitis in the right in there, right? But if I do exercises, I can keep it at bay, and it goes on. Okay, so these are different. Are any of these your friend? Nope, they are not. Okay, that's why it's good to mark them. Oh, good. These are together. We're going to assume that they belong together. No, to assume makes a you-know-what out of you and me. Ooh, what are you? What is this 5 spade thing? Oh, that must be that girl from class. Yeah, they go together. A lot of these are just good for ballet bar, just as far as strengthening the foot, but you have to be careful. See, I'm playing around. I've been doing it a long time. I feel confident that I won't do any major damage to my feet if I try out different shoes in different sizes. at the bar for bar warm-up and things. But on the other hand, if you don't have the right shoe, you can really do some major harm to yourself. I do not recommend this for anyone, okay? It's an interesting experiment for me, but I, again, will reiterate, I'm no longer a professional ballet dancer on the track of doing full-time major performing. So yeah, if I were doing like, okay, I'm going to do a major performance, let's say I decided I'm going to go back and do the Nutcracker again, I'm going to do Sugar Plum Fairy, I am going to get the shoe, and I'm going to get, depending on if I'm just doing a weekend of shows, let's say I'm going to do 3 shows, right? 1 Friday night, 2 on Saturday. That means there'll be a tech on Thursday. We'll probably have rehearsals during the week. I will want minimum 2 pairs per show because I always like having a backup pair in case something goes wrong. That's 4 pairs right there. But let's say also for the week, so somewhere between 6 and 10 pairs of shoes ready. Just ready in case. And that's probably overthinking it, but that's what I'd want. And I want them to be the same shoe. I'd want them to be these Freed shoes. I know I'm obsessing, you guys. I'm just freaking out at the fact that these are from frickin' 2001, and they feel better than all the other shoes I have worn since then. That's kind of crazy. Maybe it's nostalgia. Yep, see again, I was cutting the shank back then, and it just, maybe that's why, because again, with this other one, remember I said that this Grishko was sinking too low? Maybe that's why I did it, because sometimes if I cut the shank, then it creates like a little platform under my arch, and since I have such archy feet, sometimes that'll keep it from breaking lower. So, I would have preferred it if I had pulled this top part up, broken it underneath, cut it underneath, and then put this piece back so that there's still some decent support, but not this huge slash in my shoe that's going to rip into the bottom of my foot. Gosh dang it. Okay. What's we got? Snow! So I guess I wore these for snow when I performed that in 2016. Huh. Don't know who you are. There's a lot of these. Oh, see, I put little numbers on the side on some of these, so I'll have to like match up numbers. If you guys could see the pile is getting crazy. Okay, these are married. Put them in the married group. I moved these all out from my back room so that everything now dance related is here in the dance studio, which is my garage. Thank you very much. Look at this. Oh my God, new shoe. New shoes. They are brand new Russian Points. Wow, got a lot of these. They are gorgeous, you guys. I'm sorry, a brand new pair of Pointe shoes is just everything. These are the E Pro E26, 37, width 4, vamp 3, FM. That must be I don't know if that's the hardness, I forget. Pink RP. I actually had a Pointe shoe diary that I kept, which I do recommend to you guys. I think I've talked about in other videos, where I would just keep track, right? So I would get the new shoes, I would write a number and a date in them, or like, you know, you'll see here, I put ML on this, or I put, where's another thing? Like left, right. So I'd put like left, star, heart, right, star, heart. And then I'd go into my diary and I'd say, okay, on this date, so today, September 8th, 2020, the Russian Pointe, and then I'd actually take the sticker out and put the sticker in the diary. And then I would say whatever I named it, like R, star, heart. So then I could sort of track how many shoes was I going through at that time, or what pieces was I working on, did they work, and then I'd make notes like, oh, I like them, or on the little hard, on the little soft, whatever. And I found that an interesting thing to do to track my experiences with the shoes. I'll need to go find those journals. So brand new pair, yay! I could sew those up. One of these future things. There's the other big 5.5 sucker Grishko with the other foot thingy. Yay, foot thingy. Okay, where are you? There you are. Here's your mate. All right, we've got about 10 minutes left. If anyone watching has any questions, please feel free to type them into the box for the live chat. If you're enjoying just watching, please continue. Okay, so wrappy wrap. You know, I'm going to be a little lazy here and not wrap it all the way. Oh, Georgia, how terrible. Shove, shove, shove. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Stuff, stuff, shove, 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 stuff. And get in there. See if it'll go. I think it's gonna go. Yes! Beautiful! Okay. And these, again, as you can see, I darned the edge of all these shoes. I did not do it with these Freeds back in the day. Maybe because I was going through them so fast. I just cut the satin off, right, because it gives a little more traction. And they had a nice wide, look at that nice wide box, as opposed to the Russian Pointe, right, which is really much smaller. Isn't that interesting, right? So that can make a difference in how confident you feel in your turns. Sometimes it's easier to turn on a smaller thing. Sometimes you feel better on a wider thing. And I honestly can't remember now because I never felt great about turns. And I think for me, one of my biggest issues with turns was all of my tightness up in here. You know, I never really got a hang of the spot. I was starting to get a hang of it at the end. I was using one of those turn boards. That was really helping. But that's still something I have yet to conquer. So, oh, hi, Rob. Thank you. Yes, I'm back. Can you believe it? This is still a good shoe. Yep. Really hard. Still really hard. Yay. That sounds kind of wrong. Sorry about that. Ah, here's one. Is this a 4 left? You don't have a number on you. How am I supposed to know who you belong to? Silly Billy. No, you belong to one of these. I also used to do this to make sure I could keep track of which shoe goes with which. I would darn them with different friendship bracelet colors, like yellow or pink, which was fun. I knew I wasn't going to put these on stage. I was just wearing them for class, so yeah, that was kind of fun. It's funny, this pair with the yellow darning, I remember for some reason they always were kind of a problem shoe. I don't know why. Claire Bear, oh my god! Hi, Claire Bear. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments over here on the bigger screen because it's easier to read. So I'm like, hey, what did you say? Hi, thank you. I appreciate it. I am so glad you made it. Hooray! So I'm just looking at going through all my old shoes and finding that a lot of them are still totally usable. So I can keep on working even though I currently do not have the budget to go out and buy new Pointe shoes. So, that one matches with that one. Hurrah! Excellent. Again, you'll see with these, and it depends on the shoe, right? But with these particular Russian Pointes, I can just put a piece of elastic like straight across like an old school ballet slipper, and they will stay on, and I'll just wear them for the bar. I don't know if they would stay on if I did a full center point. But considering that it's going to take a lot more training to get back in shape enough to be doing center point work for me, please, if there's any adult dancers out there watching, even if you're not an adult, whatever age, if you decide to take time off from dancing, especially on Pointe, and then you're like, I'm going to go back and do it again, and it's been a year, okay? Even 6 months, but definitely once you've hit a year. It's not like riding a bike, okay? And I know this myself, where even though I can put these Pointe shoes on and I can roll up and everything, if I tried to go out and just start doing pirouettes and things out of nowhere, you are begging for an injury, all right? You're just begging for it, especially with my flexy ankles and things and pointy feet. I have to make sure that I have all of my support muscles working again, and that means reactivating all the rotator muscles, turnout muscles, upper thigh, strengthening calves, strengthening my ankles again, which there's all of those ligaments and muscles around there, doing the releves at the bar. If you're going to do this, please, please take your time. Go back to the bar, stand at the bar, slowly work through, slowly warm up at each time you're going to put them on. Oh my gosh, please. I know some people will ignore me and just say, screw it, and put on the Pointe shoes and go out there and have a high old time, fine. But I really hope you do not get injured. I'm just saying. That would suck. Okay, another awesome Freed. Do you go with this Freed? Maybe you do. No, this one is, ugh. I don't know what happened to this Freed. Well, too bad. Okay, Freed pile. I think I should go with the old school elastic thing I tried that one time, and that's the star. Oh, are you gonna go here with the star? No, wait. They're both L star, but you can see this one is with the black And this one is with pen. Maybe you can't see it, but I can see it. And they are not the same shoe. You are the same shoe. Haha, the yellow. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I did this really cute collab video here during COVID-19 with Kazzy and Lennon, two of my dancer friends, and it was to Footloose, and it's like one of those videos where the dancer has the shoe on, they're dancing, and then they kick the shoe up in the air, and the person in the next video grabs it, and they look at it, and then they put it in the camera and come back, and they look fabulous, and they dance. So I did mine on point, in a tutu. Needless to say, it was adorable. It was a really, really cute video. I enjoyed it a lot. I did not so much enjoy looking at myself in my current state of in-shapeness, but on the other hand, it was fun. I had fun with it, so I'm glad they included me. It was great. Okay. I am getting tired. All of this talking. Okay, 5 more minutes. That's okay. I'm doing it every week, guys. I'm here for you all. So if you have topics you want to talk about, what's going on in your ballet company or your school, how you're handling the COVID-19 thing, Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry, I don't think that's a political issue. I think that's a human rights issue. If you disagree with me, that's fine. It's my channel, but you have every right to disagree. If you start saying hateful things, then I'm not down for that. If you want to have a legitimate discussion, that's possible, but let's keep it kind of still in the realm of dance, because this is a dance channel. And I am more than positive that the Black Lives Matter movement absolutely has issues within the dance world as well. So, that being said, another pair married. I'm looking forward to doing these over the next several weeks, months, whatever, and just keeping up the conversation on all fronts. I still have to do more research on all the different things going on in companies right now, with fees, with auditions, with what's expected of dancers these days, all of that. I think it's all worth looking into. Ooh, Claire Bear says, I'm keen to get back in shape after having to stop taking classes this year. Oh my God, she's in Melbourne, you guys. We've been in and out of lockdown since March. Oh my God. And you're doing your, oh girl. Yeah. I can't imagine how is it? How crazy is it over there? Do you feel safe? I mean, are people following the rules? Are they keeping the masks on or not? Or is there no mask rule? It's like, yeah, it's different just from county to county out here. Ooh, yes. She also is talking about the Black Lives Matter. Yes. Yeah, Claire, I know, it is. The ballet world is definitely, there's a lot of white in it, and that is changing. And, I'm sure some people would say, yeah, well, African dance, they're all African, right? And it's like, it just doesn't translate for me. I'm sorry. I think dance should be for everyone. And now that's a question actually I want to ask. That is a question I'm going to ask and possibly get in a lot of trouble for, but I want to know. Do you think it's cultural misappropriation if a white person dances or performs African dance? And what I mean is, like, let's say there's a white dancer in a dance company, and it's predominantly African. I'm curious. If they performed a piece that was with African dancing, I don't think that's cultural misappropriation because it's within the confines of a company, right? But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's appropriate? When I dance with Ballet Hispanico, I mean, God, it doesn't get much whiter than this, right? I'm Irish, Scottish, Welsh, and I was dancing Hispanic pieces like that had been choreographed by people from the Latin or Hispanic or community. I'm sure I'm feeling self-conscious because I am such a freaking white person, but I will own that I know for a fact that I personally feel any white person who says they don't get it, I'm like, well, you're right, we don't get it, we can't possibly get it because we haven't ever been in a position as a minority to fully understand what they're dealing with. I think that's my take on it. But yeah, I had to dance those dances, and I remember the company director, and she was tough. and she was Hispanic, and she would say, you need to get down into the ground and you need to really move your hips. And I remember thinking, I'm not even built for this. Like I felt like everything, all my training had taught me to like really lift up and be as tall and as skinny and as long as you can, and which is very different from being very like in the dance and like moving your hips. And yeah, I felt like, like I needed to like let things kind of move in a different way. That sometimes I felt like an idiot trying to perform those dances, because I'm like, I wouldn't want to watch me doing this stuff. Why would anyone else? And they hired me, and it was funny. They really wanted all their dancers to be so skinny. I mean, like anorexic skinny. None of us were eating anything. But it was frustrating because I had the fire, I had the passion. I love all forms of dance. So I wanted to do it. I mean, I love performing and working on flamenco dance. I loved working with the castañuelas. But some of the pieces we did, I just felt like I wasn't doing it justice. Does that make sense? Is this awkward? Is this wrong? I don't know. I'd love to know kind of where people stand on that, because cultural misappropriation is a real thing. So where do you draw the line? Or am I, in this conversation, totally missing the point? Which I would be the first person to say, okay, sure, I'm missing the point entirely. I've had the opportunity to have some really interesting conversations with other white people during this time, where they're like, well, all lives matter. And I was able to talk with them through that and say, yes, all lives matter, absolutely. I don't think that's the point here. I personally don't feel anyone saying that other lives don't matter. I think what they're trying to say is, these particular lives that have been so marginalized and made to feel like they don't count for doo-doo squat do matter. So let's talk about that, right? And somehow by doing that, I feel a lot of other, white people feel scared by that and don't want to, and feel like maybe they're going to lose something. Like if you uplift another group of people, then the only thing that can happen is this group has to go down, and I don't believe that at all. I just don't. So, ooh, we have a comment. Erica says, as a black person, I don't think it is, but as long as they understand and respect it, then it's okay. Erica, thanks for your comment. I'm really interested to hear everyone's opinions on this. And Claire says, I've taken African dance classes taught by African dancers, and they were super excited to share their culture and dances with everyone. There was a big range of people there, and it was super fun. Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking. And maybe, is there a difference between classes and performance? Right? Yeah, and you're right. It's the respect level, right, you guys? Are we respecting and honoring other cultures? Are you, as they say in comedy, are you punching up or are you punching down? And being mindful of that, and what is the intent behind the performance, and what are the intentions of the dancers or the company director and what they're presenting? Yeah. Like Erica says, like Claire Bear said, we want people to learn about our culture. Hell yeah, girl. Oh my gosh. Yeah. How cool would it be to bring to, well, can you? Would it work? Like, yeah, because there's those girls that are doing like the Pointe dancing there. I forget what it's called. They created a new form of dance, and it was these beautiful African American girls dancing on Pointe, but they were doing it with like these African dance moves, I thought, or more of a hip hop feel, which is, I know, different. So it was awesome. And I remember at the time also my snobby ballerina side did come out and go, wait a minute, that's not ballet. And then I was like, well, duh, of course it's not. That it's its own new kind of dance. And we should always be looking for new ways to change and develop. And yes, honor the classics. Keep the old version too. So you have the old versions of dance. I love watching like Irish step dance. It's like I feel like I've stepped back in time. But then also bring in these new styles, new fusions, and see what that looks like, right? Ooh, we have more things. Yes, hip lay, that's it. It looks like hiplet, but it's not, it's hip lay. That's so cool. In my opinion, awareness is one thing, but respect is another. Ooh, Erica, if you are willing, could you share more on that? I would love to hear your thoughts. It's 8:04, I'm supposed to stop at 8, but I want to hear a little bit more before I go. Being aware versus being respectful. Can you elaborate on that? I would love to know what you mean, if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable and you don't want to go further with that and you feel like you made your point with your comment, I won't push it. Totally fine. But for anyone watching this, chew on that. What is the difference between being aware and being respectful of different cultures, of the Black Lives Matter movement, of all of this that we're kind of touching on right now? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Put the comments in the box below. If you feel strongly about something and you want to express it, just please, I will say in this case, please express it with respect and kindness in mind. If people put up hateful messages, I'm not going to leave them up on my channel. So I think people are certainly entitled to have their own opinion. But when it comes to the value of life, I get really upset when I feel like certain lives are being devalued and treated as if they are somehow not equal. That super ticks me off a lot. So, yeah. Okay, Erica says, people can be aware of something, but having respect is a whole other spectrum. You have to understand and appreciate what is going on. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, there's certainly people out there who are like, oh yeah, I know things are happening, but I'm not going to actually like deal with it or talk about it or seek to understand. That's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. If you guys remember, oh, I forget who that's by. One of those people, great talkers, whatever, but the 7 habits of highly effective people, one of them is seek first to understand and then be understood. And if we did that in our conversations, like when that person, we were having a conversation on the phone. This is a white guy, and he said, I think I talked about this before, but he said, you know, I feel safe enough to have this conversation with you about this whole Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. And the first thing I did was I asked him some follow-up questions. And I wanted to know kind of where he was coming from and why he felt the way he did. And once I got some follow-up questions in there and I heard more about where he was coming from, it helped me just better understand his perspective as someone who feels like he's a nice guy, he's a good guy, he has lots of friends who are African American, and he's never done anything to hurt any of them, so why should he feel guilty or hated just because he's a white guy? And it's so funny because I'm sitting there and I kind of wanted to say, well, how do you think they feel? Like, just because I am a minority, immediately people assume all these things. And a lot of white people seem to, like, hate them for no reason other than the color of their skin. And it's like, aha! But I didn't want to throw that in his face. It was just interesting. Oh, we have some more comments. Okay, Claire says, it's sad how here in Australia, especially with our Aboriginal population, we, white people, have forced people into our culture, and we lose so many beautiful traditions and languages and stories. Oh, yeah. Yeah. How can we maintain the beautiful traditions and languages and stories if we're trying to, like, stomp all that out, right? And it's interesting. I think that's why some religious groups and some cultural groups will definitely, like, pull away from mainstream society because they don't want to lose their traditions, right? I mean, America is the melting pot, and on the one hand, it's great because we all come together and share and mix and match and all that, and then on the other hand, you're like, well, is it, oh, that's going to sound bad. But I mean, because the word was diluting, and I went, ooh, that sounds like race purity, and that's bad, so screw that word. But are you losing the traditions? So how can we maintain our traditions and then at the same time share them with one another and feel comfortable with that as a society? Okay, I am talking myself, I'm sure, into all kinds of corners. Erica says, and what happened to make things the way they are? Yeah, that's my big issue is, can we just, I know we're not talking point shoes anymore. This took a turn. A turn, y'all. A pirouette turn, but history, right? What they're finding out about how history books were changed and how, I mean, like in 4th grade, we did the Trail of Tears and it was a game. We did it like a game so that we could learn in 4th grade, how hard it was to get through that trail, and you had to make choices with your team if you're going to take the shortcut and have to deal with these dangers or the long route and deal with starvation. But, you know, now I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, the Trail of Tears was super messed up. And I get it. In fourth grade, you can't, I don't, you know, is it right to tell a fourth grader, look, all of these Native Americans were essentially forced out of their homes and murdered and forced to do this terrible walk. How do you do that? But on the other hand, yeah, people who are like, let's just move on and move forward and, you know, why waste time looking at history? It's like, no, you've got to understand history. And yes, history is doomed to repeat itself. I get it because, you know, it's just like when I have stepchildren and I see them, they're teenagers now, and I see what they're doing, and part of me wants to say, you know, like, oh my gosh, I went through that, and here's my advice. And then I'm like, it doesn't matter. Even if I share my advice with them, and I can, and maybe it'll make a little dent, but really, they're not going to figure it out until they walk the path themselves. So in some cases, we're like, oh, you read history to avoid repeating it. But on the other hand, there's that horrible thing of, yeah, and still humans can be really dumb, and they still need to kind of walk through it themselves to figure out what's wrong and right. I don't know. There's a balance there, I'm sure. Claire said, like Erica said, we can know they exist, but when every gallery shows white art, every concert is white music, every neighborhood is white houses, there's no respect. Yes, exactly. And the fact that there are people who want to keep it that way and who don't want anything but white, that's where it's like, excuse me, no. No. So, yeah. Okay, I'm riled up now, and I want this to get better, and I want us to, yes, it's important to continue the conversation, and talking is good, and it's a start, and if that's where it needs to start, to at least get people to recognize and open up and open their hearts to understanding and learning, good. But people have talked for years, and the question is, what actions are going to be taken? So anyone watching this, if you're still watching and you haven't hung up and hung up, you can see I'm a child of the 80s. But think about, is there one small action you can take this week or this month or this year even to support your fellow human beings, right? Even if it's a phone call to a friend and ask them, how are they doing? Whatever color they are. And say, how are you doing during this time? And how are you feeling? And what's going on for you? And let's have a conversation about it. Because these are uncomfortable conversations. Super uncomfortable. And I love all these comments coming through. Yep. Erica, these are all good comments. Love it. For some reason they're holding your comment for review, Erica. I don't know if you put a swear word in there. I'm gonna show it for now, but let's see what you said. But it looks good to me. I don't see any swears in there. I love to swear. Believe me, I love to swear, but I'm trying to keep it clean on the channel because again, you know, things can be misconstrued, etc. Yep. We have to work together to know each other. Yep. Oh, these are all good. Different is something new to learn about. It's so true. It is so true. And James, I like your comment here. Awareness is one thing. Respect is harder for people to do because of privilege. Yeah. It is sneaky and insidious. And I am the first person to admit, I watched the documentary The 13th, and oh my gosh, did it just remind me, no matter how much I support and love and want to do anything I can to help anyone who is a minority, I have no concept of what it is like. The only thing I can have a little inkling of is that I am a woman instead of a man. So that's one little way that but that's still different, right? It's different. But I think the first step is admitting you don't know. And that is a scary thing for people to do. That's been like the best thing in my life is just, I think the scariest and most courageous thing to do is just to say, I don't know. And people have a hard time with that. A real hard time with that. Admitting you don't know, a lot of people feel that means weakness. I think it means openness. And it can be scary, but that's where I'm at. So guys, it's 8:14. I'm going to sign off for today, but please enjoy your week. I'll be here next week, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for about an hour to work on Pointe shoes and talk about other stuff. And if we get back to this, then we may talk about this more. If I have said anything tonight that is offensive or inappropriate or anything, or it just seemed downright naive or ignorant, feel free to comment in the box below. Let me know. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but I'm more interested in learning and growing as a human being. So I'm going to take that chance with you guys. And I hope that whatever you're doing, you're safe and healthy and have a roof over your head. I will be teaching a Zoom class this Saturday again. This Sunday. This Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I've been teaching it every Sunday now for a couple of months. It is free. You can certainly donate if you want to. I absolutely will accept donations, but it is free because there are a lot of dancers out there who cannot afford any kind of class. It is a very basic bare bones kind of bar. I haven't even gotten into center work yet, but just focusing on the basics, pliés, tendus, really working on your body, especially for me as an older dancer, just trying to work out the kinks and love my body and take care of it. So if you want to join my Zoom class, email me at georgiareed@gmail.com or georgiaisgiselle@gmail.com. I still have that as well. But georgiareed@gmail.com is my most immediate. And let me know you want to join the Zoom class. It is for people 18 and up. I really ask that. I think dancers under 18 especially need to really check in with their teachers and their parents to make sure it's okay and to make sure, because bodies are developing at different rates in different ways, and I don't know what your training program is. So if you're interested, hit me up. Otherwise, yes, next week we have to talk about LGBTQIA, in ballet, all of the letters. Yes, I would love that. I would love to have that conversation. So bring it on. Yep. And listen, if anyone, Claire Bear, I know you're checking time zones to see if you can join. The Zoom class is as it is, and I don't like posting that online because we are really kind of letting things hang out. I mean, I'm working with like less turnout to really try and strengthen my muscles, and my ego doesn't want me to post that online. But if anyone's really needing a class at a different time, I would consider offering another alternate time, but I just want to wait until I have enough people really asking for it. One person, I'm not there yet. I've still got a lot of other stuff going on. Okay, guys, I love you all dearly, all right? In the way that you can, love your fellow YouTubers. That sounds a little weird. But anyways, I love you all very much, and I really appreciate you being here tonight. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, shade if you have to. You know the thing, the drill. But please, if you need anything, let me know in the comment boxes. In any way that I can be of help, I want to be here for you guys. And you have been watching Ballerina Badass. My name is Georgia Reed. Never give up, never stop dancing, whatever that means for you. All right, bye guys. Have a good night.